Okay, so I just want some feedback since we are just few. I just want to know if we are like ready to go through this app, or if where you are currently or on your phone, you not be able to do that, and so would have to postpone the session. I want to be sure since most of you do not have your laptop with you. Emmanuel, what do you think?
For me, I have my laptop with me, and I'm now on a stable connection, so we could do it now.
Okay, Seth, you have your laptop, right? So,
Yes, please.
okay, cool. Godwill tells me he's in a car right now. So then, all right. So let's do this, guys. Let's do this together. So yeah, so I talked about the types of tests. So today we are, yeah, Godwill.
Yes, Adia, I was saying that we could actually do the session so that they go through the web app and then everything. And since it's being recorded, the rest who do not have access to their laptops currently can just watch the video as a tutorial and then follow up from there.
All right, cool. All right. So we do this. So like I said, there's functional testing, and with functional testing today we are going to check that the login and sign up of this website, of this web application, is working, right? And um when please let is this is going to be interactive and we are going to test along. Let me just go through this. So when we find any issue, right, that sort of is not right, you can call it a bug, or what you can call a defect, or sometimes an error is thrown. Maybe you go to a site and then you get maybe 502 gateway error or 401 page not found. You know, that's an error. It's also a defect, and you can report. And those also have meanings. Then you write a bug report for that. That's a whole work altogether. And then there's test scenario. So I would engage us on the login for now. Then after that, I would explain what the test scenario is, what a test suite is, and then the test plan, test cases are, right? I understand all these things you can Google, but then for our session today, we are just going to um narrow it down to this login. Okay. So Seth, if you are supposed to test login, right? Let's say you are part of a team and they say come and test for us. We've done the login functionality. Okay, what are you expecting to happen? I'm going to open a document. Okay, let me open Sheets.
I expect a page displaying a form.
You expect a, a page with a form.
Yes.
Okay, a page with a form. Okay, what else do you expect? Just anything that comes to mind.
Email.
You're expecting an email failed.
Name.
Can your
First
voice
name.
be up a bit for me?
Okay. First name and last name.
Okay, expecting a first name and last name for a login. Okay,
No, look.
they're testing the login, but it's fine. I mean,
And password.
it's okay. You're
Is it
expecting a password.
mobile number?
You're expecting a mobile number.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let me move on to Emmanuel. Emmanuel, what would you expect for a login page? Not this. I know you might have clicked on it, but then usually, what would you expect from a login page?
Okay, for me, I would expect a form like my colleague said. I
Mm-hmm.
also be expecting like inside the form, I'll be expecting a part that will take the user's name, the user's number, the
Okay.
user's email, so that they can be emailed back for notification stuff.
Okay.
maybe a few other like required information about the user, and then at least have like a picture or something that indicates that like this is the company or this is the people that I'm interacting with, like something to show that it is not an off Slack site that I'm filling, that the user's information is going somewhere that will not be recognized and can be used against the person, but something to make it know that okay, it is from these people that I'm filling my information to. Yeah.
Okay. So something to show that there's sorry, I'm writing in short. So those are your expectations. Who else would like to any more? So maybe you're also expecting that you're expecting usually you find the login button, right? And if you are already, sometimes when the first time you visit an app, you are asked to sign up. And when you sign up, that's more like registration. When you sign up, you are now registered. So you can now log in, right? So we are also expecting that you are already, if you signed up, right? If you signed up, you should log in. You should be able to log in with the correct credentials, right? You should be able to log in. And then if you haven't signed up, should you be able to log in?
No.
Okay. Because that means that anybody at all can enter. So if you've not signed up, you should not be able to log in. Another thing is, assuming I've signed up, if I should, there are situations where you sign up and then maybe you signed up with the wrong email. Maybe instead of emmanuel@gmail.com, you use e@gmail.com, right? And then you had the correct password. Do you think it should allow you because the password is correct?
No.
Why no?
Because it would mean that like anyone can enter at all with any password, so I could just enter as long as I know, maybe I know someone's password but I don't know the email. I can just use the password and then use any email to get into their account, and it would be like the security is not strong.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you. And even the same comes with the email. Even for the email, it's more popular. If I have your email address, I can say, okay, I'm going to enter your email address and I'll just type anything as password. And if I shouldn't be able to log in because email address is more common to find than even the password, right? So we are looking at the fact that you should be able to log in, with correct credentials. So you're seeing that just the login, you're finding a lot of things to consider, right? And this is one of the basic tests you can do. So with just the login, these are your expectations. You've not even been given a requirement document yet, right? But just from your experiences and the way things work with technology, you are able to come up with what login means and then what should happen usually, right? Maybe for some special apps, they may have special criteria for logging in. But for what we usually do, we enter in our username, password. We even hardly enter in first name and last name. Those ones come in when you are signing up. But who knows? And for a two-factor authentication, um yeah, you guys know the two-factor authentication, right? Where you log in and they ask you to check either your phone or email for, yeah. So maybe for that also, they may require, like, you may require your phone number to be on. And then when you log in, like you guys said, you should, some of them will send you a notification that, hey, you've logged in. And even if it's on a different phone you've never used before, a laptop, Normally, Google, for example, will send you a notification that, hey, someone tried logging in with this laptop. You don't usually use it. Is it you? If it's you, you can leave this. If it's not you, report it. Right. So all these things are testing stuff you can look at. And what are we looking at? We are finding issues as testers. We are finding things that could these are risk, right? Because this is Ghana's birth and death page. So if I can log in with any username and any password, it means I can have access to, if I know somebody's email, and probably I can have access to the person's birth certificate and other credentials, right? That is not supposed to be. So what you are doing is that you are finding some risk, you're finding issues that threaten the product's value. Because if you come and then enye juma, no user would want to come and use it. If you're always WhatsApping and every day you send a message, WhatsApp is saying there's an issue, there's an error, you wouldn't even be motivated to use WhatsApp anymore. You'd rather go to another messaging app for that, right? Yeah, so you are looking for issues that may come up. Yeah, some of the issues may be, that's when we talk about like priority, right? There's something called priority. For example, if let's say the login is spelled LG, maybe EG, like this, right? And then there's also an issue where anyone can log in, any credential works, right? Let's say for a site like this, which one do you think is more like crucial? This spelling mistake and then the credentials, like any credential working? Anyone? Which one will you rate as like more risky to their business or to their site?
Please come again.
So let's say you are testing, right? Let's say this login, you find out that it is spelled like this, right? This is an issue that must be corrected because a spelling mistake. And then when you tried logging in, you realize that, oh, I can use any email address at all and then any password at all, and then I'm in, right? Thinking of priority and then its severity, if I should put it that way, if I say severity, like how severe these two issues are, which one do you think will be more important to the company or to us, to you? Which one will be more important? Yeah, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
I think it should be the one that anyone can enter in with any email and any password. Means like security is not strong, then no one would like even be trust that they can hold their security if like their information will be safeguarded well if anyone can just enter in with any password in any email.
True. I agree with you. Said you were about to talk.
And this I was going to see the same thing with the
Oh,
email.
okay. Yeah, so that's true. So, like, it's true. It's important that we correct login, but sometimes spelling mistakes are things people look out for to fish out fraud activities, right? But then, yes, yeah, it's true that we have to log this thing out. But then, hey, anybody can log in at all. If the person has my email address, they can just enter in just like that. No, the person can get my details. Maybe even if it's, let's say, the Ghana card, for example, the system, it means they can get my Ghana card ID. It can be changed, right? If I want to edit any data about me, it can be changed and all that. So that's way off. So with regards to that, for some people, there's a way they rate it, whether it's a regular, whether this is an urgent. If you are reporting it, maybe you can classify it as urgent, right? Or it's critical, or maybe it's normal. Okay, it's just it must be fixed, but then anyway, yeah, like right now, you need to fix it. So that's just one thing I wanted to say along the way. So now we've listed out some things we expect from this login. And so we are going to test this login app. So let's all, let me share the link. I'm going to share the link with you. And then I'm going to leave this site, this open, right? Your expectations open. And I'm going to give you, let's say, or would you want to test it out yourself, then we come back? Not like go offline, but you're just playing around with it, and we come back. Or excuse me. Let me, all right. Hello. Did you still have my screen?
Yes, please.
All right. So what do you prefer? Do you want us to go through together, or you'd want to play around with it and then you talk about what you found? Okay, let's do the two. So for the first one, you play around with it, go to the login page and then play around with it. You don't even have to, just log in, try and see if all your options will work. And then I'm going to give us 5 minutes to do this. So we are trying, there's login with email and then login with phone number. So you're going to try that on your own right now. Try all the options that come to your mind, but you need to note what you are finding out down, right? Then we'll come back and then discuss it, right? So I'll be trying it at my end too, but then you wouldn't see it on my screen. Hopefully you don't see it. Yeah. So yeah, we have 5 minutes. Go through the login page, and then let's come back with your findings. Right. Cool. I can give you a background music if you need one. What's your favorite song?
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, please. I think I'm sorry I slept off, so I joined the meetings late.
Mm,
Can you please give me a breathe? I've opened the link you've sent in the chat, but
okay.
it looks like we are required to register something. I don't really get it.
Yeah, so we are just testing this site. It's the Ghana government site. And so when you go, let me go back. What we talked about earlier is, so we want to test the login, right? We are doing a functionality test of the login, testing the
Okay.
function of the login, making sure it works, right? But then we did a discussion on the things we expect. So a lot of suggestions came that, okay, when you go to the login page, you're expecting a form, you're expecting an email field. Some others said you're expecting a first name and last name, a password, all these things that are listed here, right? And
Okay.
yeah, just right now what we are doing is that you're just going to this login and you're trying your hands on. I know you haven't signed up yet, and maybe we
Yeah.
should sign up before coming here, but then that's fine. Just try your hands on it. Tell me what you find. What do you think they can do better, or you think, yeah, it's cool, it's perfect, and we can move on to the next thing? So that's what we are doing. We are just exploring the login functionality. So there are two main sites. You log in with email and log in with phone number. So we are expecting that because you've not signed up, maybe it shouldn't work. So that's just it.
Okay, so I should sign up in the mail you sent, right?
No, none of us have signed up. I don't know, maybe, but then we are just playing around with it. Actually,
Okay.
yeah, it's not a formal thing. We are just trying to play around with them. Yeah. So we are using some of the suggestions here to be testing. Then just note down your findings that, oh, when I entered in any email address, it didn't allow me to log in, or it allowed me to log in. It's not supposed to be that way. Stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll give 1 minute more. All right. Cool. So I would take inputs from some of you. What did you do and what happened? So yeah, what did you do and then what happened? Was it your expectation? Was it the correct thing? Something? What should have happened? Yeah. So I'd like to hear from your exploration. Seth. What did you try? What are some of the things you tried to test on that field? So let me go there. Seth, are you with me?
Hello, Adia.
Yeah.
First piece I tried.
What
I
did
didn't sign up, so I gave a wrong email address as password. But I was giving this feedback that the email or the password is wrong.
Okay.
And then also tried with the mobile number. I was told that the mobile number or password is wrong.
Okay.
But what I did realize what I did, they didn't specify the format for the mobile number if we should start with a SIM or we should just start from maybe a second number.
Okay.
So
So did you try with 0 and what did it say?
I was told wrong number or password. Wrong,
Okay,
wrong.
of course, because you don't have the you've not signed in, right?
Yes, please.
All right. Cool. Let me hear from Emmanuel. I think those are the only two people I know logged in. Emmanuel, what did you try out on the site?
Okay, I tried with a login with email, and they told me a user not found. That's what I had. User not
Okay.
found. Yeah, and I also tried logging in with a phone number and random password. Also, I had the same thing, user not found.
Okay, so are you happy with the way they've done the logins functionality?
Yeah. I also like the fact that like it has the part where you can reset it if you're like you've forgotten, maybe you have signed in, but you have forgotten your password. You can reset it if you want to. But I didn't go through that side.
Yeah.
I just did the normal.
Yeah, it's understandable. I mean, because you've not logged in as well, you've not signed up as well. So I'm not expecting that. We are not expecting that if you haven't signed up, you should be able to log in. Now, if you haven't signed up and you are able to log in, there's an issue. I think there was this site. There was this site. It has to do with the. Yeah, I think it's this one, the Pastor Chris Digital Library. I think so. I tried logging into a site like that, but I know it has to do with a church site. So let's say I'm logging in, and I think I'm just typing out something. I think I was able to log in. You see, oh no, it didn't work out this time. There was one that I I tried, and I don't think it's this one. I'll look for it. There was a site like that I tried, and yeah, it was one of Pastor Chris's site, and I was able to log in. I just wanted to see, I want to see if I could demonstrate that for you, right? Where like a site allows anybody at all to log in when actually like they sign up and then log in. But then I'll find that and then let you know. So so far we are happy with that. Anybody else wants to make a contribution with the login functionality?
Yeah, I want to make a contribution.
Okay.
With the login form, I think like the interface is nice. But then I tried logging in with the mail, and then I was told phone number or email, no, phone number or email or password is incorrect. Then I tried logging in with the phone number instead. They said user not found. Okay, but then the problem I just got a little problem with it is that when you try to reset your password, it only gives you the option to reset it with your phone number. What if in a situation where maybe you've lost your phone number, maybe you've lost your SIM card or something like that? How do you reset? It
That's
means you wouldn't be able to reset your password, which means that you've lost your whole account.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Yeah, this is one of the biggest problems I've seen there.
That's
And
very
then
true.
with the this one, what is the name? With the email side, when you try to log in with the email side, they bring it like phone number or email or
Mhm.
password is incorrect. I think that place with like I've seen a little problem with it because already the phone number side is there that you can log in with. So why should they even say a phone number or email when you are not using phone number there?
Mhm.
So I'm thinking like it should be just email, like
Mhm.
username or this or password is incorrect.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is like what I have to say.
That's great. So with something like this, like what Idris just suggested, so you would want to make a recommendation, a suggestion, right? That okay, users should be given maybe email option, the option to use email to reset password, right?
Yes,
Sorry
please.
if
Yes.
I'm not writing this correctly. It's just user should be given the option, right, to reset account with email address. So that can be a nice recommendation suggestion you can offer. So when you do this, because you're working in a team, maybe they'll say, oh no, in the near future, we just want to force them to use their phone because we don't want to use email address anymore in the near future. So then you can how do I even put it? Okay, someone is asking for the address to the yeah. Okay, testing. Let me just do testing login. Uh uh Google. Okay, I'm giving you access to the spreadsheet. But I'd like us to just use one document for now. So you can just keep the link so that we can all look at the same thing. Right. So this is something you can recommend, right? Then if it's an issue, they'll be like, oh yeah, we need to do that. Or a lot of users then start complaining. That's if it's not out, if it's out there, then they would make recommendation. But the reason why you are there is to look at some of these things to say, oh no, email address field should be given as well, or options should be given as well, so that just in case I lose my phone, I can still be able to access my account. So yes, this is good. I think generally, if you realize, let's just look at this. One of the things, one of the basic tests for validation email address, email field, okay, is that let's say I try signing in with just SDS and then it says that enter a valid email address. So one area you can test also is validations, right, of the fields. So if I should type, I'm not expecting to be able, even if I am a user, right, I am not expecting to be able to log in with Adia. So it will say enter a valid email address. Now, a valid email address should have a text, some text, right? The at and then a domain. So something. So even though this may not be a correct domain, it's a format for a valid email address. And so if I should sign in, it will now tell me that, okay, email or phone number or password is incorrect, right? It's not telling me that I should enter a valid email address, because this can be a valid email address. So that's one of the things she can look out for. One of the basic things she can look out for when um testing like failed validity, like, right? Even if I do this where there is no dot, there is no domain, is to show it shouldn't work. You see, it shouldn't work. So that is one of the things you can check for email address being valid or the email field being valid. I shouldn't be able to be type just numbers in the email address. No, it shouldn't work. I shouldn't just type any text at all, and then no, I should be given a notification. I shouldn't be able to go through. So those are one of the filters used, so that number one, you can have clean data. Number two, security issues like you guys mentioned. And then yeah, I think those are the two that come to mind right now. And then the password, some people have password requirements. Some passwords should have at least a capital letter, a number, and then a punctuation or a special character. Some fields don't require that. So if the software you are testing requires anything at all for password, then anything at all should work. But then if it is requiring a special character, a capital letter, number, and then lowercase, then it shouldn't, that is what must work. So if it's lacking all that, then the password field is faulty, right? So sometimes it just depends on what you are testing, what the requirements are. But this one, we don't know the requirements. You are just using our own stuff to work around it. So that is it. And then the phone number, I shouldn't be able to have letters as phone number. So if I should do this, you tell me to enter a valid phone number, right? Because letters shouldn't be in phone number, right? So these are some of the basic things you can check for phone number. I shouldn't enter some text in the idea and then it's going. This is not only for login, but other fields as well. I'm sure we can explore the sign up field, but we'll get there, right? And then the same for the password as well. So that's one thing you can check for the functionality. I'm sure there are lots of other ideas. As you play around with it, you find ideas on how to do that. One thing you can also explore, right, is the developer tools. And it's very powerful when it comes to testing, and even the devs also use it. But I'm sure I'll find time to take us through. So what you do is, if you're using a laptop, you right click on the screen and then you go to inspect. Now I'm going to move this to the side, right? So the inspect is more like it gives you there are a lot of tools the browser has. Chrome has it. I'm using Chrome right now. Firefox has its very powerful ones. So there are different aspects. This is the elements page, or what you call the DOM, right? DOM. I think I have forgotten the full meaning of it. Right? Who knows it? Let's just look for it. Simple. So it's the DOM, right? Document object model, right? So basically how the HTML is structured. So all these things, as you go through, you see that it's highlighting all these things. And if you are doing, let's say you pick this, you click on this, you go here to show you where this thing is, this particular field is. When you click here, you select the password field, it will show you what the password field consists of, the various attributes that are assigned to it. You can also check for the sign up, and there are things you can, when you are doing UI automation, test automation for UI, this is something powerful to use, because you need the ID or something, a unique identifier, to be able to select and type in the elements, right? So this is something I just want to show you, but there are other ones that there are a lot of things you can look out for. Now we look at the console, right? So this is the console. The console normally brings out some information about what you are doing, and if there is any error or anything to show up here, right? So stop, do not type or paste anything here. So this is coming from their site, I guess, because it's not like that. If I should go to the Google site, inspect, oh, okay, so this view page source, the whole, I'm coming. This wasn't part of my plan today, but I just felt like taking you through. So this is for Google. So you realize that Ghana government just put something here. They are saying stop, do not post anything here because they know some people come and mess up with them. So like this is it, right? This is the console. If you know a little bit about JavaScript, normally the console.log commands that you put here may be displayed here, right? So if I should sign up, as you interact with the how do I even put it, the page, you may be finding stuff happening here, right? And especially it may be listing stuff here sometimes, and then the network page also showing you what is happening. So if I refresh, it is showing the files that are happening, the login, it's a get method. That like I'm just trying to say that there's a whole lot of things you can find out or test if you're just using this whole tools that we have in the browser, right? You can explore the application using these things, right? If you don't know them, all you have to do is to just Google and then you are there. But I think I just want to draw attention to it that there are stuff here like that, right? And sometimes some things may be working all right here, but when you look at maybe the console log may bring out some errors that may need attention. Some of the things are automatic, like this yellow stuff here, like this. It may not be anything that is catching, but then you may have maybe if you get like a server error 500, it calls for concern, or a 400, it calls for concern. So sometimes some errors come. You just need to, if you don't understand, then you just need to communicate with the developer and I say, okay, hey, I've seen this thing. What does it mean? Does it mean anything, or I should just ignore it? So yeah, that's just the stuff you can explore with your application here. There are lots of things. There is a lighthouse. You can check the performance of your site. Yeah. So moving away, let's go to sign up. And then the sign up, we are going to test it together because the first one we did. Please, sorry, any question? Okay. Please let me know if I'm talking too fast. Anybody ask any question? Okay, cool. All right, now I want to sign up. And I don't have, let me see, let's see. We are all Ghanaians, right? So most of us are Ghanaians, so we can all sign up. So let me just try signing up. I think I've done that before, but then, okay, no, let's try. So the first name, why is it saying valid last name? Because the field is empty. So even it's one thing that we could have even tested for. So you shouldn't be able to test with empty fields, right? Like the field shouldn't be empty, and then when I click login, I can log in, or sign in, I can sign in, right? So that's and the validation for this can be corrected to say that enter a valid email address, or cannot log in with empty field or something, but just by the way. So if there are no this one, if I try, let's see, checking this, I can't click on the continue button because I've not filled the required form. So let me just type some gibberish and then yeah, maybe do some fake email address dot right. And then the password, let me just use MOT Accra because I don't forget the password. And then the phone number, I'm typing letters. So it has given me a notification type invalid. So I can put in my number, right? And then I'm not getting any error. The other names, it's not a required field. I can leave it empty, but I'll still type something there. And then I'll continue, but this is not a real email address. Okay. So what we are expecting is that I shouldn't, even though this is not, let's say, even if this is a real email address, I mean, it's going to whatever email address this is. But let me just add Z something to it, right? So I'm just Oh, oh, all my work is gone. Um, I just want to communicate something, right? I just want to communicate something. So, like, I'm signing up and I'm saying that we have put in an email address which has the format of an email address, but it's basically the domain doesn't exist. If I should put this domain in the site, there's no domain like that in the world, right? So it's usually .com, .io, .org, something, but there's no domain like this. So what I'm saying is that they are likely to send me an email address to confirm that I'm the person or I've typed in the correct one. But if I'm not expecting to get, because I don't even have access to this thing, it's not real. But if I'm able to log in with this email address, then there's an issue, right? Because it doesn't exist. So that is what I'm trying to test over here by signing up. Or maybe they should tell me that this email address doesn't exist, right? So they sent a, okay, so they are using my phone number. So with my phone number, they can get through to me. I should have put in a wrong phone number, you know. All right, so I haven't received any verification code, right? I haven't received any verification code. By now it should be in, but it's not in. What we are doing is called exploratory testing, right? We are just playing around with the thing and then seeing what happens. We are seeing the behavior of the application. By that, then we write our observations. Through that, we'll find issues, we'll observe some nice things, some bad things, some good things, and all that. But they are saying enter verification code to verify your phone number. But I haven't gotten any verification code. And they have not even told me whether they are sending it to my phone number or my email address. You see. So let me click on resend. And still I haven't gotten any verification code by now, the NABA, right? Because it doesn't usually take a lot of time. If you've worked with verifying phone number with OTP or any code, by now it should be in. But we don't have it. I don't have it, right? So there's an issue. So they've put contact support there. So that's our observation, right? For sign up. That's one observation. So when you are writing a report, you can say, oh, like it took so long. Usually it should be seconds, the split of a second or 2 seconds. You should get the verification code, but it's not there. So that's an issue. I'm also going to try to log in with this email address to see if it will work. I'm going to open another page. Okay, we have to go directly today. I'm just going to try and see. I'm not expecting it to work. I'll be surprised if it does. So it's incorrect. So it's not working, right? Cool. So we go back. What other things can we try? For this one, we didn't write expectation, but we can just, if does anyone want to see what things come to mind for you to try when you're testing the application? What can I try? You've been given a sign up page test. Yeah, Tim.
Okay, so I can test how much security is required for user passwords. For example, if I'm setting up my account and I enter a password, maybe in the password field, I just enter 1234,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not secure. So the system should prompt me to use maybe a combination of letters, numbers, symbols, uppercase, lowercase, and there
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be consecutive numbers or letters on the keyboard. So
That's
if the more secure, the better.
okay. Um, Let me just see. Encourage strong. These are just notes I'm writing down, right? Strong password. Normally, I write this in. Yeah, Emmanuel.
Yeah, I also want to suggest that with a sign up, like it should be able to detect whether you're entering like a correct name. Like I could also just enter like a single letter inside the name section and it should just let me pass. So you should be able to detect whether, okay, this is a full name or like starts with a capital letter or something like that.
Hey, Emmanuel, so what if my name is OO
I don't
or
think
like
your name
these
is
Chinese two-letter names? Pardon?
a name could be in like maybe 3 letter words or maybe 2 letter words, but it shouldn't be just 1 letter word, and it should also not be in like a small letter or something. It should be maybe like a capital letter. Maybe your name is A for some reason, so but it should at least be in a capital letter because it's your name. Yeah, and then your last name will also not be like just a single letter.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I agree with that. That may not be how do I even put it? I don't think they will check for caps or they'll go that level of detailed, like that. There are some forms actually when it's um especially for some forms like these foreign forms, some of them they are very detailed on how you actually fill the form, whether you use a capital letters or uppercase, should I say, or lowercase and all that. So yeah, that's so let me see. Name field should have right characters. Yeah. So as you are testing something like this, you're just observing, right? Okay. So when I type number, should my name be numbers, right? If I check this, because I've not, this is a good thing, because I'm not done filling the whole thing, it has deactivated the button, right? So the button is grayed out. Let me use this now. I type in any password. Still, I've not typed in my phone number, so let me put in something. Right, I put in something and then it's allowing me, right? So first name is not a valid format. The last name is not a valid format. So you realize that they have really taken their time to work on the validation, because I shouldn't have a first name that is numbers. I shouldn't have a last name that is numbers, right? So yeah, so you can even put in something, and then I don't want to use my email address because let me just do something. And then let's see if the other names is an optional field, but I'm expecting that they check that as well. The fact that it's optional doesn't mean it should be treated anyhow, right? So I'm going to try, and then it says that the other name field is not a valid format, right? So these are some of the things you can check for sign up. Now, I'm going to try to do with, I have registered with them before, but I don't know if like still. So I'm going to try, right, to sign up correctly, separately, right? And then we'll see with that. I'll see if I can log in. Okay. All right. But already we are seeing that they are not sending the code for the verification. So there's a problem over there. I've still not gotten any text or anything. So I'm going to do a correct sign up. Okay, I'm going to do with my name. That's my email address. So in your free time, you can also try that as well. Let me do with let me try Kim's this one. So maybe 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Right. Okay, so I try logging in and continue. So it's giving me a password minimum of 8. All right, so I'm going to add, I don't know how many I have now. So yeah, but I need to get a verification code, which is not coming. So I'm resending. So we have an issue here, right? Which, if you are the one testing, you can report to your team or to the devs that verification code nenye juma. Like, even if you resend, you are not getting anything. Or maybe I should check my email address. Right? Let me check my email address. Please give me a couple of seconds. I'm checking that on my phone because I don't want you to see my right. So when I check my email address, so there is no notification that I've tried signing up anyway. You see, so it's also an issue. Maybe they will say I should check my spam. So I'm going to my spam and then check if I've got anything from the Ghana government, but there's nothing like that. So these are some of the things you can check when you are testing, right? What should be and what should not be, or what may be and what may not be, because some of the things to it is our own ideology. Like sometimes we think, hey, it's a bag, but maybe it's not really a bag. But for something like this, there is an issue because I can't verify my account. And let me try logging in if they will allow me with the password I used, and I doubt they would allow me because my account hasn't been verified. So I'm not expecting them to allow me to sign in, right? So these are some of the things that if you want to test for functionality, test this. These are some of the things that you can look out for. This is not exhaustive, but you just go through each field. What is validations? You check what should be required. Even sometimes what kind of email address should go in, right? For this one is general, anyone can use. But let's say if it is my company site where only people with that site can go in. I mean that domain. Like for example, your Eugene, your Sakai stuff, right? I don't think they should allow anybody. Sakai uses sorry, what am I even? Sakai uses ID and PIN, right? But let's just say it's using email and password, okay? It shouldn't allow any email at all to go in. It should just allow the UG kind of email to verify that like this person logging in is a student, right? There's not just somebody somewhere and then the person is logging in, right? So even for the email, there are stuff like that you can look out for. But if it's for the general public and anybody can sign up to have an account, then that one, you can't restrict them the kind of email they should use. But then if it's a company that is closed, okay, for security reasons, then you shouldn't like allow such any email address, like any domain, this at all to be able like to go in. Okay. Yeah. So that's one of the then the password, like Tim shared some validations with it. First name, last name, phone number, what can you think of, what shouldn't go in and what should go in, and then the email, we've already talked about it. And then do you really need this place to be checked? If I feel all these things, right? If I feel all these things and I don't like provide, I don't check this, it's still now, you see. But if I check it, it gets activated. If I uncheck it, so it means this is also a required field. I have to agree with the terms and conditions, which nobody reads actually. But then, yeah, you have to agree before you be able to continue. You see, yeah. So you can even sometimes the fact that sign in works, login works over here, right? Doesn't mean that this one also works, right? Sometimes you may have the same link at different places. You also need to check that these links are actually getting you to the pages that they are getting you to, right? And it's not like any, if I click reset, it should work, right? If I click sign up, it should work. If I see sign up anywhere on the page, right, somewhere, it should work now. I think I'm coming. I saw and apply. My time is almost up. I'll take questions very soon. Uh, let's go to, where should we go? Let's go to this people. Oh, there's one I found. I think, could it be this? Okay, yes, I saw this apply button for passport, right? And I'm expecting that, okay, something will come up for me to be able to apply. It's not loading. I don't know if it's my connection or it's right. Nothing is happening or something is happening. Okay. So if I click apply, it's pending, right? But my site is working because if I should go to ug.editor.gh, it's loading fine. But there's absolutely something wrong with this button, right? So these are some of the things you do. And as you are testing, sometimes you, okay, so Tim is saying he has, oh, sorry, I'm now seeing it. You said a long time ago. He also tried with the verification code and it's not working. So as you are testing, it's not only the bad things you always, also they'll see you as, I mean, that's our work. We are pessimists, professional pessimists, but we also appreciate good stuff and we recommend solutions as well. So yeah, I think what just happened? I don't know. You'll be redirected after successfully signing in. Okay. So when you click the apply, this is what happened, but it takes so long. Okay. So yeah, this like two functionalities we've gone through, and when we say that you want to test the functionality of the login, just you having it, that's some of the things. You mean it's not exhaustive, but these are some of the basic things you can go through, and you can put down your notes, your observations, your recommendations or suggestions. Maybe you're not sure if that's the correct behavior, you can ask the devs or the one who is asking you to test it, that, oh, okay, I did this and this happened, is that correct? Is it okay with you? If it's okay, fine. If it's not okay, it must be fixed, right? And sometimes the fixing doesn't depend on your part is to report what you find, your observations, any issues that you find that you think threaten the value or the risk in the product that you are testing. Your part is not to fix them. And sometimes you can give them your suggestions and they are not mandated to fix it. By the end of the day, you've done your work as a tester, right? Unless, of course, you are the tester and you are the authority in the team as well. Then that one, you can enforce some of the things to be fixed. But the fact that you've reported an issue doesn't mean that everybody should stop whatever they are doing, come and fix it. You see? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, now let me go back to this. So when you're a bug report, and very soon we'll be having a meetup, generally, not just for UG, you guys can join, about how to report bugs. So for that one, you can, so there's a nice way you can report a bug. What did you do? What happened? What did you expect to happen? Sometimes you can even give screenshots to show that, hey, like nothing has, like this is what I'm encountering, like there's an error, and you'd for example, let's say this error is not supposed to come, you can just do a screenshot and say, oh, I typed in my email address and this is the error that came. So this is more like a proof, right? Or it can even be a video where you do a screen recording of your actions, just a short one, to let whoever will be working on it or whoever you're reporting to see how you did it and the issue that came, right? It helps them to also try it out themselves and know, like, investigate more into it. So yeah, there's one thing you can look at. And sometimes when you are testing, at my end, when I'm testing, I don't just look at the front end like this, right? When after login, let's say if I sign up, first name, last name, that I go to the database and check that, yes, that's the correct thing that has been saved there, right? So if you have access to the back end and things that should happen as well, you can look at that. Sometimes there are logs. An example of the logs that I find is what's is automatic in the browser, right? But it doesn't always display here. They may have their own way where the logs come in. So if you have access to it, you can check the logs as you are testing, as you are doing stuff. Logs may be coming up to catch, because sometimes everything can be going on all right, very fine here, you've saved, but actually it's not in the database, or a log, an error log came up that needs attention. So all these things are something you can look at if you have the opportunity to do that. Okay. So a test scenario can be something like, a scenario can be just one thing, like testing with correct credentials. Yeah, testing that the user, you want to be able to log in. If you have the correct credentials, you should log in. That's one scenario. Another scenario is that you are you are expecting not to be able to log in if you've not signed up, or if you don't have the correct credential. That's, so all these things can be scenarios, right? So if you think about the word scenario, like a scene or scenario, so all these things can be scenarios that you are testing, and out of that you generate test cases. So a test case sort of has the steps you should follow. Okay, first of all, a simple one can be, you can click on go to this site. The very basic one, it can be like more advanced than what I'm saying, but then a basic one can be, okay, go to this site, click on this automatically open. Okay, enter a valid username, enter an invalid password, click on the sign in button. User should not be able to log in, right? So this one is telling you what you should do and then what you should expect. And if what you're expecting and what happens are different, then you report that. You see, so a test case sort of gives you that breakdown thing, like gives you some steps to follow. And a test plan usually covers the whole thing, your plan for your tests, and how you intend to test, what areas you are looking at, what types of tests you want to do, and all that. So these are little things I would want to say about that. There's a whole, we had a meetup on test cases. I'll share the link very soon with you. I think this is the last thing I'm talking about. But we had a meetup and we invited one Nigerian lady, Ibiranke. Let me do Ministry of Testing, Accra. Yeah, so generating test cases. So I'll share the link with you, and then you can You can go through. It's something we did on how to generate test cases. So if you look at this place, there's a test suite. The test suite is what has all the things you want to test, the whole suite, or yeah, like it has all the tests inside, right? A test case ID is just something used to identify the ID. Now, the next column is the test case description. What are the preconditions? If you want to log in, what are the preconditions? You should be able to sign up, right? First, before you can log in, ideally. And then the procedure or the test steps you go through. Are there any data like email address, password that you need to enter? Now your expectation and then the actual results. So if the expectation and actual results are different, then there's something you need to look at, right? And then the cycle is maybe it's the first time you're attempting, maybe the second time you're attempting and all that. So it's something you can go through when you are free. Yeah, I think I would like to end here. Any question, please? Or any recommendation, improvement, what you think we should do next time or I should improve on the next time? Anybody? Okay, maybe I should ask, please, did you understand what we did and what we went through today? Is the exercise okay?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, those I started with Seth, Emmanuel, I think Emanuela as well. Can I hear from you, please? All right. So that'll be it. I don't know if you guys discussed with Godwill how often you would want this, and you would want to do this. I need feedback from you. All right. So is this okay? Would you want another exercise the next time, or should this be weekly, bi-weekly, every month? Because I was discussing with him and I felt that some of you, like most of you are in school, so like giving you a lot of, yeah, Tim.
Have more of this because it's quite interesting and I'm learning a lot.
Okay. Okay. All right. Who else? Emmanuel, are you still around?
Yes, please. I left for a second. I'm back. I think this one weekly would be fine.
Okay. Who else? Any suggestion? Ijisu. Yeah, you're muted.
I think twice a week will be fine.
Twice a week.
Yes, please.
Honestly, I wouldn't be able to make twice a week. Honestly, I wouldn't be able to make twice a week. Weekly, yeah, I can do that. Like now, it's possible for me. Week like Saturdays, especially because I'm not working. I don't work on Saturdays, right? So I can make time on Saturdays. But then twice a week, yeah, would be very difficult. Like it require extra stretch from me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Who else? Any other thing? Any question on what we did? So yeah, you can go to another website, look for a website and then just work on it. But so far I liked your inputs and then the recommendations we got. I'm sure there are more recommendations. We didn't put out our results or actual results where we had issues with verification. Couldn't put here issues. or bags, maybe verification code. American verification code. Right. So there's a better way you can write this, but then I'm just writing that as a note to remember what actually is happening. Yeah. Okay. So I can close. You guys can go and enjoy the rest. So thank you so much for coming. Yeah. So we are looking forward to our next meeting. Maybe we would attempt something different as well, like a more do I do exercise. Yeah. Okay. Have a nice afternoon or enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye
Catch
bye.
you page. Yeah. Bye.
Thank you.
Welcome.